Alright, so I thought I'd do a little bit of first impressions, Starfield, official gameplay reveal. I've watched like, what did I watch to maybe the 4 minute point, and then I said, you know what, I kind of have some thoughts and might as well share them for anyone who's interested. So this is a game I've been looking forward to, potentially. I'm not going to pre-order anything else like that. We'll see how it turns out. So let's watch together, and I'll kind of put my commentary over. And I'll link the video in the description, so if you want to watch it yourself, you can.
Constellation Starship Frontier. We're ready to start on your signal. Maintaining exit vector course. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course. Guidance has converged. We're looking good. Allocating auxiliary reactor power. System checks are green across the board. Grav jump commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So far, sound design of the background audio sounds pretty good.
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you've waited a long time to finally see Starfield. It's easily our most ambitious game ever. Like our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
Alright, so this seems a little bit cinematic. Let's see what some of the actual walking around gameplay looks like. They're talking a 2023 release at present. I like the ship design. I like it looks worn in. A little bit bubbly canopy for me, but kind of Prometheus looking. I like it. Very industrial and that kind of thing. Mech is nice. I like the mech. UI is a little bit more than I would like, but I really like very limited
According
to no
to
UI.
the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
I hate this type of UI. It's just too much. I think it's distracting. The whole plant lights up. It's very hand-holdy to me. I'd much rather a game where you feel like you're there instead of a game that you immediately know you're in a game. I hate third person, so since it's going to be a single-player game, as long as you can kind of toggle third person on off, I'm good. If it's third person only, I'm not even going to play. But like the health bar there on the right, I wish that would disappear, or I have a setting to disappear. Really don't dig that. Like this, like highlighting things like this, I'm not a fan of that. They like to write a lot of this off as quote-unquote future, yay, you see everything, but it's like, not a fan of, highlighting like this right here. This is immersion breaking to me, where it goes, Crete Research Lab 23 XP. Well, I immediately takes me out of feeling like I'm there, and I'm immediately in a game again.
The pirates of the Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the menu to switch your gun. That's very much consoleized. It's cross-platform, so I'm not a fan of that. Much prefer using keyboard commands, but like right here. Let me pause it really quick. Yeah, so I feel very immersed in this. Like, this looks great. This feels like you're there. Gun position's good. This, you know, this is nice and gritty looking in here. The gun's a little bright, but you know, again, this is early footage. You know, it's not out till next year. You know, so like the gun pops a little bit more than the rest of the world. But the thing that takes me out is like this UI here, like having a bright health, like if you could see like the borders of your, say, your helmet or whatever, and you could say, okay, well that's projected on. You know, again, this is early days. You know, this isn't a released version, so it's not like this is what it's going to be like. But like, let's say that you had the visor of your helmet, and you could kind of see you're looking through the visor of a helmet, so it would incentivize you to take your helmet off when you're in places that you don't need a helmet, or if you know, for combat you'd want to wear a helmet, so you're kind of looking through a visor, kind of like in Tarkov. You know, Tarkov, you can tell you're wearing a visor, and then if they projected this on a visor like a HUD, perfect. That keeps me in immersion, but like this is very immersion breaking for me. This health there, you know, this it's very immersion breaking, and you know, currently it's early, you know, but look, you have this nice, beautiful, gritty environment here that makes me feel like I'm there. This looks great, like right here, makes me feel like I'm there, and then I've got this, and I'm like, well, yep, I'm sitting behind a computer screen again playing. So that's kind of a UI criticism.
Hold them off here while Brogan sets up on the roof. No one's getting through. Hey, there you are.
This I can't take. I really like that right there. Like one, I can already tell they're going to be super bullet sponges. You know, they're going to take 900 rounds. You know, like again, I'll compare a lot to Tarkov. I think Tarkov has one of the best immersions of any game I've ever played. So it's like, you don't know their health. You know, the guy could be on his last legs. He could have a full health bar after you've shot him a little bit. You have to, you know, tactically be like, oh, okay, I need to reposition. I need to get some more shots on this person. This is like, okay, I'll just stand here and pop this bullet sponge for a while, and then, okay, he's almost dead. Let me finish him off, you know. And I just hate that UI. It's just very immersion breaking to me. And then like this, completely unnecessary. Why are you popping up my XP? You know, I should be, you know, if I want, I should be able to take myself out of the game, open up a menu, see what my XP is. It's like popping on the, it's just super gamey to me, and I don't know why they do that.
We've got company! Opening fire! Take that guy down, huh?
I like it tactically how he pushes his own grenade. Don't be doing that, dude. AI seems a little bit dumb. AI seems a little bit easy. Again, I'm going to compare a lot to Tarkov. I think Tarkov gets combat. You know, again, their AI is not perfect, but they get it pretty right. Like, he pushed this guy here. This guy was off his blind side. This guy should have wiped him clean. This guy is on his blind side. This guy should have wiped him clean. You know, now he's pushing this. He's pushing his own grenade and not eating any of these frags popping off. This guy should have already shot him. You know, so it tactically, it seems like a run and gun, which I'm not a fan of. I would much rather, you know, he had an open shot on this guy. He should have stayed in cover, shot this guy. Peeked. Okay, both of them start shooting because they know he just shot their buddy. So now he's kind of pinned in this corner. He has to peek, hit this guy a couple times. He doesn't know what his health is because there should be no health bar. You know, maybe pop a grenade in there to get this guy to run away. Then peek again, shoot at this guy, get this guy to push back, and then run into this corner and then change position and fight him, you know. Like, see, can't take that menu. Hate that menu. Don't like it at all. It's very much for somebody, you know, playing with a console and a controller so they can do it. I'm not a fan. Like, see, he's eating too much. This guy shot him a couple times and just tanking it like where's his health? You can see he's taking a fair bit of damage, but you know, I much prefer the Tarkov method of like, you know, this guy would have been long dead in Tarkov, and so make it a challenge for you. Kind of a cool, you know, a break action. I'm glad they have some cool guns like that. Again, just the UI, man. It's super gamey. Not a fan of it, man. Open up this case. you know, let me, you know, you're gonna have to pop up a UI, but like, it's just super gamey to me. Like this mini game to pick the lock. You know, it's like, that seems unnecessary. You're just rotating around. It takes no skill. It's a time sink. I would rather if you know, I like the mechanics how you might have to bring 10 lockpicks with you. And, you know, when you first start out, you're going to break 3 of them every time you do a lock. So you can do 3 locks. And then as you get a higher lockpicking skill, you just, you know, you activate the lockpick. It picks it. And because your character is skilled, it will open it, and then you'll break fewer picks, or it'll take less time, or maybe you break the lock and you can't open it, you know, unless you have a high enough skill. But again, popping up XP, taking me out of, ruining my immersion. It looks like I didn't see him heal, so it looks like he's auto healing, which is gross. You know, I loved in Tarkov, you bring the meds you want in there. You want to bring in, you know, enough meds to heal 1800 health. You can keep healing. You bring enough meds to heal 300 health. Well, that's all you're getting. So you have to plan your trip, and especially if you're going to be traveling around a ship, you have to then decide how much of your ship are you going to fill with meds. If you're a guy who's tanking rounds all day and destroying your health, you have to bring a ton of meds. If you're playing more tactically, you don't have to bring a lot of meds because you're not taking a lot of damage. So it looks like he's auto healing, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, again, tactically, it just doesn't seem like this game is, you know, I played other games like Fallout and Skyrim and stuff, but one of the reasons why they don't really grab me too much is, you know, here he is pushing 3 guys, he's got this big obtrusive health bar there, Pirate 2, you know, again, not, you know, a lot of this UI might not be final, but it looks like he's back to full health again, or close to it. He's pushing these 3 guys. He should be dead. You know, he should be coming over here, taking cover behind here, popping his head out, hitting on them, getting them to move, tossing a grenade over, getting them to push behind cover. Then he can move down and he can get behind cover, fight him again. This is just like very runny gunny. Like, see, he's standing there still on the ramp. He took 1 hit, barely took any damage. Like, see the guy standing there just doing nothing. See, I understand it's early days, but showing him his back. Whoever's playing can't
After
really
some
aim.
initial encounters, you're invited to join Constellation, who, in the future the game is set in, are the last group of space explorers. To meet them, you'll head to the capital city of New Atlantis.
One thing that kind of had me worried there is the way the ship comes in. It definitely looks like you're not flying yourself, which for me, you know, as somebody who's a former pilot, somebody who really enjoys operating machines, you know, I can get behind a walking game like this where you where you're a passenger, but I would much rather be doing a lot more of my own narrative. I'd like to be flying myself, especially in first person, especially if it's a single player game. It doesn't matter if you crash your ship, because you go back to your save point and come in and land again. World looks nice. World is looking good. See, like, I wonder if that's supposed to be your helmet UI and it's just early days on it, because if you look, we don't have a lot of UI now, so he's probably walking around with no helmet on because he doesn't have a suit on. And this is kind of a smartwatch. So that's a cool mechanic, using his watch to unlock
Welcome
the
to
door.
Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. As to what they are, what they're building, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up
Suit
the
design's
artifact.
nice. Suit design looks really good. I like, you know, it looks like it's worn, like it's been used. You can see scratches. I like that detailing. I hate it when everything looks plasticky and like it's fresh out of the store. I like it that it looks kind of used. Character models are looking good. You know, I'm not seeing as much. You know, these are cutscenes. It looks like, so you know, no wonder there's no UI in them. But you know, I feel immersed in this cutscene more than I do playing as my character, which is a problem because of that UI.
That means you saw it. The visions?
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course, the settled systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC Steph. Together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous, but we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Yeah, I've seen the old laser miner a couple times. Again, that's a preference thing. I'm not a huge fan of these laser miners that every space game has to have. I get why they do it, but you know, I'm not a fan of, you know, having a magic laser beam that does everything. You know, magic laser beam that heals you, magic laser beam that takes up ore. You know, take hundreds and hundreds of kilograms of ore and just it magically goes in your inventory. But we'll have to see.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story. It's the story you create by who you are and the choices you make. And that starts with character creation. It's our most flexible yet. You can customize all the elements of how you look. You'll pick a background that gives you 3 starting skills.
Says here you spent some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages. But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with the resources you find, to crafting weapon mods needed to survive.
That sounds like fun.
And you can build your own outposts. These act
cool.
as a home
I
away
like
from
that.
home for survival and resource
big for me.
generation. You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running. But that's not all. You can
That's a big part of like a lot of the things that I've been criticizing about UI and lack of immersion. These are the kind of things that, you know, if you have some other things that make the game worthwhile, I can kind of say, okay, and I'll pass on those things, you know, and not be too worried about it. Like, I like the base building, and one of the things, especially with the space game, you know, they talk about this, it's supposed to be 1,000, you know, planets, and of course they're going to be procedurally generated. Of course they're going to be barren and have some small POIs, which is fine. As you know, and it's hard to do in multiplayer to have, you know, people have their own area and not have, you know, a bunch of people doing stupid nonsense that kind of takes you out of the immersion. When it's single player like this, you can build your base, you know, how you want, and it's kind of a home away from home, so that's cool. I like that.
even build.
I really like the element how they said that you can hire people to kind of like work your base and kind of looks like you can do resource gathering. So if you could hire some people to do resource gathering for you, that would be cool.
Build your own spaceships.
This is big. This is another element for me. Of course, playing a lot of Stormworks. Being able to kind of build and customize, especially in a single-player game, that's important for me. It lets you kind of decide, I want to spend a ton of time building my base because that's a place I want to spend a lot of time in, or my ship. Like the ship designs a lot. I'm not huge on bubble canopy, but like this looks nice and industrial. I like that.
You can choose crew members. And yes, you can completely customize the look and layout.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of simple, draggy, droppy,
There's
but
loads of different modules, ship manufacturers, and more.
It's not bad.
I have to say, it's so cool. We just absolutely love this.
That's kind of cool. It makes it really.
It's not just how the ship looks, it's how it performs, from engines to shields to weapon systems, because yes, you can fly it.
Thrusters boosted.
This is one of the most important things for me. I've been hanging around the Starfield Reddit a little bit, and people are asking, what would you do if you couldn't fly your own ship? And my answer would be, wouldn't play. That's a big part of it for me. Is I want to work. If I'm feeling like flying today, I want to go flying. If I want to go run some missions, I want to do that. If I want to hang around my base, I want to do that. But just jumping on a ship and click on the map, I want to go here and have it automatically take off and fly me away, is no-go for me. Not digging the central UI. You have screens down here. Use the screens. Third person, as long as it's toggleable, I'm good, but I hate third person. Overly gamified this center HUD. It takes you out of the immersion. If it was a projected HUD, you felt like you were there, that would be better to me. Again, big, let's see if I can get a pause on it. Let me see next time he shoots at something. Alright, right here. See that tiny little ship? That little UI there that shows where the ship is, that's all you should need. And then look at this. You see how tiny that is? Now look how huge this is. This is what? 10 times the size of this UI. So UI is huge to me. It can take me out of the immersion of a game. All I need is this. I don't need all of this. To a certain extent, I should be guessing how much health he has. How am I rating his health in real time? But it's like, I would say that shields and health, meters. You could put 771 meters right over here, and that's all I need to know. Is I've selected this target. That's showing me where the target is, like a real life HUD, and then 771 how many meters. But this is like, that's too much UI, man. Freighters. That's up my alley. Freighting that's what I like to do.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. Thanks again for being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decades, especially on this game. It's been an incredible journey for us making it, but we know that's really only the beginning, for it's when all of you play it that the real journey begins. And you may be wondering, just how big is this game? So we thought we'd take one last moment and show you. Let's take a look at one of our planets, Jemison. You can land in New Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet, it's all the planets in the system. From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait to see what you find.
All right, so that was cool. I've been kind of watching this game a little bit. There are a bunch of concerns, but I'm still, it's still certainly a maybe for me. I'm not gonna buy anything, pre-order anything, and I'm gonna see what reviews say and make sure it's for me. I'm not huge on single player story games. I kind of like to make my own story, which seems like there's a lot of that, the ability to say, well, I'm not doing any of these quests today. I want to build my base, or I want to work on my ship, or I want to just fly around and explore. So that's cool. That has that element. It's very much consoleized, which, it takes me out of the immersion. I'm a big Escape from Tarkov fan, and so, like, one of the things that I love about that game is, like, I literally was sitting somewhere, right, on a map, sniping, and there was absolutely no UI whatsoever. You have a little bit of your health down here, and you'll have something over here. You can't even remember what it is because you see it so infrequently. And if you stop moving, it all goes away. And so it's just you and the world. And you feel like you're there, and your heart's pounding when you're in combat. And this seems very casualized, which is fine. You need games where people can run in and run and gun and not not yell and have to break their keyboard. But, so that takes it down some points for me. The UI, I find a lot of that consoleized UI atrocious. I hate those little wheels. I understand they do it for a controller, and they have to make the game so that, if you want to play it on a controller, you can do that. And that they want to make it cross-platform here so that, it's a business. They need to make money for their game, and they need, of course, if you have a new revenue stream, they need to do it. But that UI is just super intrusive to me, and I would like it if you could select a lot of that UI off. One benefit of it being a single-player game is most likely you're going to be able to, if you don't ever want to go in third person, you never have to go in third person, which is awesome because I hate third person. Plenty of first-person elements there. I don't like the laser mining, but, again, if you're having fun doing other things, I can say, okay, well, that's not my favorite thing, but, I love to do these other things, so that's all right. So, definitely a game I think to keep watching, and I think that'll be cool. We'll definitely see when it comes out next year if it's worth playing. I've been following Star Citizen for, forever, and it'll be nice to get a game out that you can play that's in a release state, but waiting for that for another decade. But yeah, so there are some things that look good in this. There's some things that look kind of meh. UI and combat are meh. I've read a couple people's thoughts, and yeah, they saw that combat is kind of the weak thing. I wouldn't I wouldn't judge it until the final product comes out next year, just because a lot of that enemy AI stuff could be early days and a lot of tweaking, and you know, if people are all responding to this while that enemy AI looks too easy or it looks dumb, I'm sure they're gonna, you know, work on that. Or you know, if the game comes out even and people like the UI, the enemy AI is terrible, you know, that's something they'll focus on and update. But definitely looks like a game to follow. It's not a game that I'm like I need to have. You know, but we'll see how it is and if it's worth a play. So thanks for watching, and I'll definitely link the video in the description in case you would like to follow it yourself. Thanks.